Today I'd like to spend a few minutes on the use of masks in the general practice setting. Early in the pandemic, it was thought that surgical or cloth masks by themselves were probably adequate for protection from the COVID original strain in a low-risk transmission activities in an environment such as general practice, that is with doctor and patient talking and breathing in and out. And if a patient was coughing or sneezing, we'd wear an N95 mask with goggles. And for high-risk transmission environments such as intubating a patient in hospital or using CPAP, gown and gloves and a visor would be added to that. What we now know from the Omicron variant is that the respiratory particle size for transmission is much smaller than that. It's much smaller than droplets. Before getting into the details of masks and PPE, I'd just like to go back a step. And so what we breathe in and out is loosely defined into three subcategories. Fine particles are defined as less than 5 microns in diameter. Coarse particles are defined as from 5 to between 50 and 150 microns, and droplets are defined as being greater than 150 microns. It appears that even more than 30% of what we breathe out are actually fine particles, potentially carrying the COVID Omicron strain. And they don't settle like droplets do. They just float around in the air for many hours in an unventilated indoor space, which is a cheery thought. So it stands to reason that while an ill-fitting rectangular surgical mask might filter droplets from a patient sneezing or coughing, for instance, the surrounding air with fine particles will be drawn in around the gaps around the outside of the mask. And similarly, a cloth mask may be well-fitting with no gaps, but the material is generally too porous to stop the penetration of fine particles. And it would be permissible to wear a surgical mask for the filter and a cloth mask over the top of that if it was well-fitting with no gaps. But with Omicron, one or the other is simply inefficient. You would need both. Enter N95 masks or KN95 or P2 masks. The standard for these masks is that when well fitted, they filter out 95% of fine particles above 0.3 microns in size. In our major hospitals, staff are fitted with N95 masks. They're offered various brands and they can find out which is the best fit for them. In general practice and with the general public, we don't have that luxury. So at Walker Street Doctors, we're transitioning from providing surgical masks to N95 masks to patients. Now, by rights, you should be wearing one when you come into the building. Nevertheless, if you'd like to put on a proper N95 mask over the one that you're wearing, if it's inadequate, please do so. Or alternatively, please do take one for the next time you come in to see us. Please don't take off your existing mask while you're in the surgery. Just layer one on top of the other for the moment. With regards to children, masks are recommended for any child over the age of 2 in an indoor space, and certainly we mandate that any child coming in for their 5 to 11-year-old vaccine is wearing a mask. We have some child-sized surgical masks if you haven't yet organised one for your child, which are better than nothing. I'll just take you through the donning and doffing process and show you a few of the different brands of N95 masks on offer. So, to start, hand sanitizer. Back of the fingers, palms, thumbs, wrists, and done. Fashion mask. When you put on a fashion mask, there are holes everywhere. This is a bit of a waste of time. Surgical mask. Remember to pinch the nose. Now that goes on pretty easily, but there are some big gaps. Big gaps. So if I were to put a well-fitting cloth mask over that, that's not so bad. That fits pretty well. It's got the wire, well fitting, no gaps around the side, no gaps underneath. That's probably second best. This is a child's mask. So again, to put on a mask, pull it out, top to bottom, pinch the nose and pop it on. And actually, that's better than nothing. Still a few gaps. And then there are the 3M N95 masks. Generally, to put on an N95 mask, the best way of doing it when they're structured like that one is to hold it, to cup it in your hand with the nose metal piece at the top. To put it on your face, top strap, bottom strap, done. To take it off, try not to put your hands anywhere near your face and in the bin. This is another 3M variety, a little bit more rigid, kind of earlier design. These are the ones that you might find in sort of hardware stores and things. Same sort of principle. Hold it as a cup, nose metal piece to the top, top strap, bottom strap, very sticky plastic straps, these ones. Not a huge fan, quite uncomfortable to wear all day. Again, fingers away from the face as you take it off. Bin. So this is just another brand, not 3M. This is BYD brand. 2322 is the lot number of that one. This is kind of less structured. So again, we open up the mask, metal at the top, elastic straps behind the hand, onto the face, top strap, bottom strap. And this is a much more kind of free form. It actually sits very nicely, and really there are no gaps at all in that one. So that fits me quite well. Doffing, hands away from the face, bin. Now, there are a couple of versions of the duckbill mask. The name will become obvious very shortly. So they look like that. There's a metal piece on one side. Pull it apart. Metal goes to the top. However, the plastic straps won't go over, they're not long enough to go over the back of the hand. So I'll just hold those up as that goes onto the face. Top strap, bottom strap, and that, for obvious reasons, is the duckbill mask. Doffing. My hair's going to look fabulous at the end of all of this. This is the one that we received actually on Friday, which I just can't help thinking is perhaps a slightly cheap and cheerful version of the duckbill mask. So stripy, they've actually got metal at the top and metal at the bottom. So the gutter is at the bottom, but there's metal at the top and the bottom to help it fit a bit better. Again, pull it apart, hold the top in your palm, elastic straps too short to go over the back of the hand, so just hold them up onto the face and the elastic straps. Now this one takes a bit of getting into the right position, but it's firm fitting. Doesn't look like it from the front, but it is. It's firm fitting, and there's metal at the bottom, which is actually very nicely sealed. So, and now for the Rolls-Royce of masks, my personal favourite. This is an Erina mask. They are not cheap. They come at $69 a pop and you can order them online. But they are soft and very, very comfortable. I can walk into work with this on. I can go for a run with this on and still breathe through it. But it's probably not fit for purpose in an environment like general practice. So, just as well, they come with KN95 mask insert filter, which has got the metal at the top, it's got memory foam, c'est là, and you can either replace your regular mask with this one with the filter in it when you walk indoors, or if there's crowds outside and you don't want to be taking the original one off, you can just pop that on top. Beautifully fitting KN95 filter, and really I can and do wear that all day. They also come in little people's versions, and I have a couple that I occasionally put on when there's little ones who are unhappy and really don't want to be seeing me in a black mask. Then we'll use that little baby blue and baby pink versions of the Erina mask, and they fit very nicely. They also have filters. They're the small version. They also come in 4 different sizes. So, hope that's been helpful. The topic for next week will update you on what Walker Street doctors are doing to improve the air quality. Hope that's been helpful.